Hey everybody, and welcome to Chortle Cast. This is the official podcast of Chortle Games, where we talk about TV shows, anime, music, video games, whatever the heck we want to talk about. I get to do the intro, and I screw it up. That's typical.
It wasn't. No.
We don't talk about music videos here. My name is Steven.
Music has music videos.
It's true. It does. My name is Steven. You may know me as the Stream King, the Far Cry guy, the man who may cry devil, Les Assons, Far Cry guy, etc., etc. I won't answer to any of them, but you may call me them. And join with me.
Jesus.
Join with me, thankfully, tonight is Jeremy. That's Jeremy right there. Big Germ. J-Town. J-Nasty.
That was quite the intro, Steven.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Now, you riff for a second while I post this to Discord. Because
so there's not a whole lot.
Phone.
I mean, you guys didn't really do a podcast for the OLED yet, did you?
We haven't done a podcast in weeks.
Yeah, I think it's been a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah,
if you want to.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
And,
because Steam did the stream. Is the Steam Deck?
Yeah,
is that what it's
the
called?
Steam Deck.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it because you're more of a hardware guy than I am.
I haven't really looked up any of the information on it yet, but I'll bring it up and we can talk about it for sure.
Cool. That's finally posted. So we're gonna talk about the Stream Deck, Steam Deck, whatever, Steam Deck, the Switch OLED, Loki maybe a little bit because I've been sitting on some thoughts on Loki for a while, so I may just force Jeremy to listen to my mad ravings. We're gonna talk about.
Anyone need anything while I'm out risking my life?
X-Defiance.
X-Defiant.
X-Defiant, whatever. Who cares? We're gonna talk about X-Defiant.
We're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into it.
Yeah.
That is the Ubisoft betrayal that they announced today. And we're going to talk about. I had one more written down. I've never done this before, guys. Jake's normally here. Monster Hunter Stories 2. I'm going to talk about that a little bit because I've been playing a crap load of that. So, Jake is not here tonight because, as you all know, or most of you know, he's a dad. If you're new here, Jake is the guy who normally hosts the podcast, and I am simply the guy who makes his job difficult. But now I get to make my own job difficult tonight, so this is great. By just ranting and being off track. Anyway, Jake, he's having, to be a dad. Babies just need some attention. Like, without going into specifics, Jake's just he's got dad duty. So we're on for podcast tonight. Normally we wouldn't do podcasts because podcasts without. The sniper tower just finished underneath you, Jeremy. This is legit.
Oh dang.
Jake's kind of the heart and soul of the podcast. And so this is actually the first time, in case you can't tell, this is the first time we've not had Jake in the podcast. So bear with me. Really appreciate it. Hey, Courtney. Glad you're here. This is going to be a different podcast, obviously. It's going to be a lot of gameplay. There's probably going to be a point where we run out of stuff to talk about, so it may just, divulge into a normal live stream. But we are going to talk about topics, and boy howdy, X-Defiant. Oh man, that's gonna be a fun one. Oh, he's already shooting.
I think I might buy a Steam Deck.
Really? Let's go. Let's just dive right into it. Tell me about the Steam Deck.
So, you're gonna be able to play any game from Steam, obviously.
Right.
Looking at, so they have 3 different tiers. One is a 64 gig.
Mm-hmm.
It's $399, and you get a carrying case with it. The next one is 530. It's 256 gig, and the storage is on an NVMe SSD. So it's going to be slightly better load times, and that one you get a carrying case and an exclusive Steam Community Profile bundle.
Interesting.
And then the third tier is 650. You get a 512 gig NVMe, anti-glare etched glass.
Jeremy, look forward. Look forward.
Huh?
Help!
Oh shit, my bad.
No, it's okay. There's just a juggernaut.
I was reading stuff.
No, you're good.
Um.
Okay, I made it back. You can read. I thought he was dead. I could have sworn that was gonna be a I'm dead animation.
I should reload.
What is happening? I got it.
Down to my last
Whew. All right.
Cool. Continue.
So the third option. Third
Yes.
option is 650. You get 512 gig NVMe SSD. Premium anti-glare etched glass, an exclusive carrying case, exclusive Steam community profile bundle, and exclusive virtual keyboard theme.
Okay.
And you have to reserve $5 now and expect order availability at Q2 2022.
Okay, so this still has a while before it.
Yeah, so mid-year next year probably.
Okay. So, what does the community thing mean? I forget what the exact wording was. Like a community bundle? What does that entail?
Let me read down here for a second.
Mm-hmm. Austin, what's up? Austin's asking, what is X-Defiant? X-Defiant
Oh, God.
is a freaking betrayal that we're going to get into here in a little bit. That's probably going to be the last big topic because it's going to be the meatiest, I think. But
Wondering if the community is just like the Steam community, meaning you get like a page banner and like a
yeah,
profile picture
I
or
would
something.
think that maybe like a special badge banner or stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Nowhere in here does it really elaborate on it, but
Gotcha.
I wanna.
Well-
oh, okay. Yeah, the processor. It's not bad.
Yeah, I saw one of them was like 64 gig storage space, and I was like, "There's no way! Like, how are you gonna play anything?" But I guess that'd be a good indie machine.
Yeah.
But so,
Super Meat Boy and Fez would be really good on it for sure.
oh yeah.
It's
So
rare,
I'm
yeah.
curious what everybody thinks. I know we don't have a ton of PC gamers here on the channel, but what do you guys think of the Steam Deck? People are saying that it's like the Switch killer, which it's not gonna kill the Switch.
The Switch, the Nintendo will always reign because it's Nintendo.
Right.
They have their own IPs, and those IPs
They drive it.
will drive it. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
the Nintendo will never die because Mario is exclusive.
Correct. Yeah. That's long and short of it.
Yeah. It is trying to be the Switch killer, probably. Well, I don't know if it's trying to be the Switch killer or if it's just trying to get a cut of that market. Because the portable market...
There's nothing.
Hey.
I mean, other than
Right.
third-party development, and most of those, it's kind of a gray area to put games on it. So
Nintendo... What is that? Our sniper has been shooting our community leader for the past, like, 2 minutes.
nice.
I'm gonna go ahead and start scavenging if you want to join me. But the mobile gaming market has been surprisingly just untouched, even before mobile gaming got big. For so long, aside from Nintendo. Nintendo has just reigned in that realm. Sony just could never get it right.
I loved the Vita personally,
Right, but
but they definitely,
it didn't
as far as
catch on.
Sony, yeah, as far as
Are you kidding me?
like, yeah, mine just opened.
I can't. Oh my god.
That was loud.
Yeah, you have to actually
Oh.
finish opening it.
I should hit it again.
There just wasn't marketed well.
Right.
They were kind of like, hey, this is gonna speak for itself,
poking around out
And, it
and
didn't.
then yeah,
Yeah, and I personally am a big advocate for like mobile consoles. I loved my 3DS. I love my Switch, and I use it exclusively in handheld pretty much.
Beggars and choosers.
So great. More power to them. Give the mobile market some more love that isn't mobile gaming.
Yeah.
Ghost Hand 246 over on Twitch says, knowing Valve is just a weird experiment thingy they had, and we're interested in the hardware aspect of it. That's Valve chasing new concepts and either canning them or polishing them, but never getting to the third installment. Am I right? That one was me. That was a little commentary from me. But yeah, I agree with that, Ghost Hand. That's valid observation. I would say you're probably right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we talked about the Steam Deck. What about the Switch OLED? What are your thoughts on that?
For me?
I like the concept and the idea of them trying to create a different version of it, but I don't feel like this one's different enough.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I would have liked to have seen a lot of hardware advance.
Like maybe for people who have a Gen 1
4K,
Switch.
that's fine.
But because they kind of did like battery upgrades and stuff for standard Switches, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, through the years, of course, there have been hardware updates and everything, but the OLED is literally just like, hey, I think it's 0.6 inches bigger, and it's OLED.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. It's still 1080.
Okay.
Docked and 720 handheld. So, why would you not take the opportunity, since it is a bigger screen, to add to it and make it, 1080 handheld?
Every zombie in 2 miles must have heard that.
It's valid.
Especially on an OLED.
Right.
My phone does 4K.
That's true. It's weird. It's Nintendo though, so they can pretty much just be like, buy it, you filthy animals, and then everyone buys it because it's Nintendo.
No, I love the idea.
Yeah.
Mario is probably going to be gorgeous on it, like any sort of like Mario Tennis and such.
Right.
But
it just like Ghost Hand said over on Twitch, it's just late to the party.
Yeah. And especially with rumors of 4K, and then they come out with this, it's just like, hey,
yep,
bigger screen, guys.
Do you think Valve started those rumors? And they were like, and when they announced this thing, we're gonna come in like, pop, here's your PC Switch. No, probably not. So yeah, what do you guys think in the chat of the Switch OLED and the Steam Deck? Curious to hear what you guys think, but we're gonna move on to. Should we talk about Loki? Because you haven't even seen episode 1 yet.
If you want to talk about it, you can. Cool. I'll listen at you.
Great. So we'll talk about Loki later. We'll talk about Loki at the end, maybe, if I'm feeling up for it, because a lot of people haven't seen it. Probably, maybe, I don't know. So we will come back to that. So for now, let's go to Monster Hunter Stories 2. I've been playing a lot of Wings of Ruin. Let's go take out the sword, Jeremy.
Okay.
For any audio listeners, I don't even know if we do audio listen. I don't know what Jake does with this, if he gives it to audio listeners or not. But for any of those, if you're out there, we are playing State of Decay 2. We never even said what we were playing. This is State of Decay 2. It's on Games Pass.
That's kind of important.
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit. It is it's another zombie game. We're kind of feeling those right now.
Yeah.
But it's a very good zombie game. People don't talk about it a lot, and I don't understand why, because it's very good. I like it a lot. So, Monster Hunter Stories 2. Jeremy, have you seen anything for that yet? Or
we've talked about it a couple of times.
Okay,
We've mentioned
cool.
it, so I have an idea of what it is.
Gotcha. So basically, Monster Hunter Stories 2, for those who don't know, is Monster Hunter if it were a turn-based JRPG. Kind of JRPG, more of a Pokemon game. Which, I joke saying that this game, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin, it's the best Pokemon game I've played since Pokemon Silver.
Hey.
Because the problem that Pokemon has, in my opinion, is that, sure, it's got all the recognizable characters and everything, but at the end of the day, the gameplay has not changed in like 20 years. It's just the same game constantly. And Monster Hunter Stories 2 gives you the monster taming aspect of it and the large number of creatures, but gives you a satisfying turn-based RPG with it. And it's just a lot of fun. I love the combat. They're a surprisingly large amount of monsters. The amount of...
Oh.
Did that hurt you?
No.
Okay, cool. The amount of customization that you can do of the monsters, because you get to, like, customize their genes. Not denim genes, they're genetics genes. Although it'd be pretty funny if you could put genes on a dragon. Laugh, Jeremy. Thanks. You can customize their genetics, which has to do with like their passive abilities, their active abilities, all that stuff. And so to the point where my understanding is, I haven't tried to get too out there with any of the genetics yet, but one of my favorite monsters that I've got right now are Monsties, I guess. Here, but they're called Monsties in this game.
Oh, little Monsties.
I don't know why they went with that. It's Japan. Never mind. I know why it's Japan.
Yeah, you know exactly why.
Yeah. But one of my favorites is Legiana. And for any Monster Hunter players, you may know Legiana as the Ice Dragon. And so you can take a Legiana and you can remove all of its ice genetics and replace it with pretty much whatever you want. Even like fire genetics. So you could take all of its ice abilities and replace them with fire abilities. So you can customize the monsters a ton. It's super cool. But I really enjoy it. I would say that it's kind of underappreciated, but it has been getting a lot of coverage. And if anything we talk about on this podcast seems like, wow, they're really late to the party. It's because we haven't done a podcast in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a bit.
It's been a hot minute. So bear with us. Normally we do this every week, Monday nights, live streamed around 7 or 8 p.m. Central. But, you know, things are kind of in flux with Jake having the baby and all. So we're just kind of going as we can. But yeah, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin for the Switch. It's also for the PC. If you haven't tried it yet and any of that sounds good to you, check out the demo. It's actually a really good demo. And the progress, as all demos should, the progress carries over to the main game. So check it out. Courtney says, I'm down to get more PC games, partly because I'm kind of cheap and don't want to buy another console of any kind anytime soon. That's fair. The new gen consoles are fine, but I don't think there's really been any games yet that have been like, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm replaying old games now.
Yep.
Just to see them in the
better
resolution.
Those old games are great on these new
Ghost of
systems.
Tsushima has been gorgeous.
Oh man, I can't even imagine. I'm waiting till the director's cut or whatever it is comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're actually going to do an update to Legends with that. So there's going to be new co-op content.
Oof.
It is fantastic.
So down for it.
Ghost Hand says, Game Freak, what the heck is a Pokemon? Better visuals, varied environments, quality of life? Eat the sludge piggy. Eat it, you filthy animal. That's funny. Monster Hunter reminds you of Lost Planet. I haven't heard Lost Planet name dropped in a while. I never got to play those, but I heard they were underrated. So, anyway, yeah, that's Monster Hunter Stories 2. Check it out. It's great.
Bad place to stop.
I know, I was in the map. We're in a car, we're untouchable.
We hit a tree.
No, we hit the fence because I was getting the guy off the hood. Don't question my methodical driving. Do question my crossbow shooting, though. It's terrible. Anyway. I know we've been kind of blowing through these topics, but there's not really a ton to say about these things. But we're going to go to...
Here's the meat and potatoes, guys.
This is the puke-covered meat and potatoes that are way past the expiration
Regurgitated.
date.
It's regurgitated.
Ghost Hand, have we tried Days Gone? Jeremy, you tried Days Gone, right?
Yeah. I really liked it.
I never played it, but for me, zombie games, I enjoy the more mechanic-driven ones, to where, like this or 7 Days to Die, where it's less about the narrative you're given and more about the aspects of survival and whatnot. So Days Gone wasn't really for me. But I would probably try it someday.
That's fair.
I've got it for free because I think it was one of those games that came with the PlayStation 5 stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll try it someday, but I just haven't gotten there yet.
How's it going? Hello.
Ugh, her voice is so high pitched.
What you got? Okay.
She got anything good?
Uh,
Is that a scar? Does she have a scar?
I'd better be seeing you soon.
first aid kits. Pantozyme pill press.
I think we've got one of those already.
Cleaning station. Cast making kit. Sanitizing machine.
Okay. Some of that might be nice. Are those all mods?
And then
Like-
just meds resource.
Okay.
Yeah, facility mods.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Or a vial of plague cure.
See ya.
So while I look through this, Jeremy,
I think we can help
Yes.
each other out.
Okay.
what is X Defiant?
It's Ubisoft San Francisco's new FPS shooter, cross punk rock.
It's intense FPS. It's half intense firefights.
High speed.
half high speed, half punk rock. I almost ripped my own ears off when he said that.
Yeah.
Oh man, continue.
So
You're just in time, Jake.
there's 4 factions you can play. 2 are from Division. And
Neither of them are the Division.
Yeah, neither of them are the Division. It's the Outcasts and the Cleaners.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the Outcasts are healers.
Oh my God.
Not really. That was an interesting choice.
The Outcasts. This is gonna be all over the place. All you need to know, like we're just gonna get into it. X Defiant, Ubisoft announced yesterday. They were like, "Hey, tomorrow's gonna be wild."
We got something big.
Yeah, and they showed the Tom Clancy logo, but it was graffitied on. Keep in mind, Tom Clancy, he's dead. He has not been
Thank
dead
God.
for that long.
I wouldn't want him to see this.
No, absolutely not. But it's like, how disrespectful of them to just poop on his name like this. Because they basically, the jokes that I saw, probably my favorite one was, gosh, can't wait for Tom Clancy's Pro Skater.
Oh, yeah.
God, get out!
One was Tom
Get out.
Clancy's American Wasteland.
Oh, God.
It's like I like that one.
I hate those things. But yeah, so we didn't know what it was. Ghost Hand, Ubisoft, we really hate you and Splinter Cell. Yes. So we didn't know what it was going to be. I had heard, and many people had, and those people kind of predicted it, but there is a game that was leaked back in June before E3 called Battle Cat, is what the working project was. We should have known
Running real low there.
kind of what was coming when we heard that it was called Battle Cat, because I heard that and I was like, that's kind of weird for a Tom Clancy game title, but okay.
Yeah.
And we knew that it was a crossover PvP first-person shooter that blends The Division, Splinter Cell, and Ghost Recon, specifically those 3. So it was shaping up to be basically a Tom Clancy Super Smash Brothers, if you really want to call it that. And so we assumed that's what it was, and today
It's for the fans, Steven.
it is not.
It's for the fans.
It is for the fans to literally piss them off. I'll tell you what it's for.
No, at the end of the live stream, the guy, Mark Rubin, was literally like, at the end of the day, this is a game for our fans.
Our fans. Got it.
I just want to make you guys a game that you would just really enjoy. That's it.
It looks bad.
Yeah.
Like basically, it's a PvP FPS. The classes are the factions. As Jeremy said, Outcasts are the healers. And for those of you who don't play Division 2, the Outcasts are people who are infected with the green poison, which is a virus that was killing everybody. It's those people. But they were left on Roosevelt Island to die. And so they were like, hey, screw everybody. We're just going to infect use our blood to infect everybody. We're just going to watch the world burn. That's the healer class, ladies and gentlemen. Literally the bioterrorists that strap bombs to their chest and would rather blow up than keep living as long as they kill you with them.
Yep.
What the hell?
If you've ever watched a Division stream, there are multiple on the channel,
Sounds like an opportunity.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
but
None of that makes sense.
zero
None
sense.
of that.
That's why, I mean, while we were watching it, I texted her and was like, really? Why are they the healer?
It makes no sense for anyone who's played Division. Like anyone who knows
Yeah.
the Outcasts at all is like,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird. And then there's the Wolves, which you remember in Ghost Recon Breakpoint
Yeah.
when the Wolves were able to throw down an energy shield that blocked bullets.
Oh, yeah. That was right away, right?
Right.
It's like at the beginning of the game?
Wait, no,
No, they don't.
that's Overwatch. What?
Yeah.
Like the Wolves, there's nothing about them that says tank. In fact, in most iterations of Walker, the lead wolf, he's like a more assassin archetype, and yet the Wolves are the tank because they needed a tank, and the Wolves have an armored face. So there's that. The Echelon, which is your Splinter Cell character, they can be invisible. I think that's what they do. Which, hey guys, Sam Fisher doesn't do that. He doesn't turn invisible. But okay, you need a stealth character, so just sure make it Splinter Cell. Dumb. And then the Cleaners, which are weirdly the most accurate of all of them, but it's really hard to mess up the Cleaners because literally their personality
DPS.
is fire.
Like it's
It's just give them a flamethrower, and you nailed it. So good job, Yubi. You nailed the Cleaners. You gave them a flamethrower. Oh my god. Also, X-Defiant. Do we know why it's called X-Defiant aside from the reason that I'm about to mention? Did they mention why it's called X-Defiant?
no.
Okay, so the entire reason that it's called X-Defiant is so that the X and the D could be capitalized and look like an emoji. This is Tom Clancy. Like, what happened? Like, I get that Ubisoft doesn't know how to take anything seriously anymore, and they think that we're idiots that only appreciate games when they make us laugh. But
It's a lot of racket.
this is ridiculous. Like, I've said on the channel before that Ubisoft has basically become a giant proving ground to where they just use their existing properties to test ideas or to make money. Rainbow Six Patriots was canceled, which was a super interesting sounding version of a Rainbow Six title that was story driven. They sacrificed that to make Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm not crapping on Siege. Siege is one of the least guilty of shilling out to trends, but it still did. It just happened to work out. They wanted an esport.
Esports.
They wanted a freaking esport, so they made Siege, and now they've made Rainbow Six an absolute laughingstock in terms of canonicity to Tom Clancy. Like, it's an esport for, like, counter-terrorist teams. Like, counterterrorism has nothing to do with it anymore. It's just, hey, you remember that time when all of these characters got into big competition that was televised, even though they're CT operatives and they probably shouldn't have their identities revealed? Do you remember that? Yeah, I do. Oh man, bringing the smoke today, guys. Keep up. So
Next time I'll just use
So-
a fucking bullhorn.
they did that with Rainbow Six. Splinter Cell hasn't had a game because you can't monetize a stealth game very well. Which is
Yeah.
why Assassin's Creed became an action RPG that really wants to be The Witcher.
And Hitman just does it so much better.
Yeah,
A stealth game.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then Ghost Recon Breakpoint, they thought that it could be Division. Like they've spent the entire year or two after post launch of Ghost Recon Breakpoint fixing it into a playable game. And it's fine now. But they were like, hey, you know what goes really well with Ghost Recon?
Fucking nothing.
Loot. Everyone hated it. Everyone
For
did.
some dumbass reason.
Like, I don't understand. And they knew that their community with Ghost Recon Wildlands, they knew that the majority of their dedicated community was the community that played in Tier 1 mode. So, like, no HUD, like, one-shot kills all around, all that crazy hardcore stuff. So they made it a game of numbers and levels and loot color. Like, that's such a lack of self-awareness. It's impressive to be that stupid.
Someone just stopped
Yeah.
by the base with an
And so now we're at Battlecat because they need a Call of Duty game. Actually, no, they need an Overwatch game. But guess what? Overwatch hasn't been relevant in like 3 years. And they're just like, hey, kids are still playing that Overwatch, right? Sure. Like,
It's a thing.
and the gameplay didn't even look that good. It looked fine. It looked like a game that would have released on Xbox 360 like 10 years ago. It was pretty, sure. Great.
Well, as I told you, Steven, the thing that pissed me off the most about it is that they already had pretty much every single asset that they
Yeah.
would need for it.
Yeah, you could tell that basically every map that they showed was just copy-pasted from Division 2.
Yep.
Because I was watching the gameplay before this. There was some gameplay that leaked, and it was like, wow, this is first-person Division 2. Cool. It is the most low-effort game that you could have. Like this, what I said to Jake while this stream was still kind of happening, I was like, they know what they're doing. They literally made this game to piss me off and ruin my day specifically. Like you've heard us say like, oh, that's a Steven game right there. That's a Jake game. This is Steven's Kryptonite game. None of this works. Nothing about this works. It is them dangling like
In all fairness, it is free to play.
that's worse.
So
That just means that they're not going to try at all. And that means that they're going to be able to get away with it because at least if this game like cost money to play,
oh, it's gonna be a pay to win for sure.
oh, it's totally going to be pay to win. But at least if there was a, paywall to actually play the game,
Yeah.
then they would be incentivized to not make it a piece of crap.
Exfil en route.
But because people aren't going to have to pay to play it, they're just going to make their money and run. But through all the cosmetics and crap from the people who just shill out to anything that Ubisoft does. Because those people exist. And I'm going to tell all of you people out there who are those Ubisoft shills that buy into whatever they do, you're killing that company. They can do better. Make them do better. God! I hate to see it happen, guys. I really do. I don't think I've ever actually uttered the words "I hate Ubisoft" to Jake, and I did today, and I stand by it.
Steven, we played so much Division 2 that it feels like an insult
It does.
for their next like big announcement to be so shitty.
Yeah, it just goes to show how little they care about their fans.
Yeah.
They don't care about their fans. They don't care about their
Steven,
properties.
the game is for the fans.
No, it's not. He lied. What was his name?
Mark Rubin.
Mark Rubin, you piece of crap. You liar. I want my money back that I didn't even give you. You owe me. Give me $5. Anyway, they don't care about their fans. They don't care about the people who devote all the time and money that they do to these games to make them actually matter. Like Division 2, people like me and Jeremy, the reason that it got all the content it did
Yeah.
was because we suffered through them trying to fix it, and we enjoyed ourselves along the way, but we were there for it. We were there because we said, we enjoy the game concept you've got here. Do what you got to do. We'll be here when you fix it. And we did. We came back for every single update. And Ubisoft just goes to show that they don't care about that. They don't care about any of that. They don't care about any dedication. They just care about their next paycheck. And they have such little faith in their fans to where they're just constantly looking to get new ones. There's no fan retention, or no attempt at fan retention with Ubisoft. They just
they're
don't care.
looking to do that next thing that catches on.
Right. And they're always too late to the party.
Yeah.
You remember Hyperscape? That game that no one's talked about in like a year? And it came out a year ago? Yeah. They had a really good concept for that too. They tried Battle Royale and they're like, wow, people aren't talking about this as much as Fortnite. I guess this game's dead. And then they just, as far as I know, they don't do anything for Hyperscape. Hyperscape was actually a really good idea. But I guess they forgot that it had a good idea. And so it's just their failed Battle Royale. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
go seriously, guys. Just go watch. The announcement was super quick. Like they did basically.
It was the whole thing. I think is a 12-minute video.
Yeah, and the initial announcement before they got into the crappy Q&A session, which it was really more of question dodging than it was question answering.
Well, I told you it was pretty obvious that they had already scripted it. They all knew what they were going to talk about. And
yeah, and the guy who was asking the questions was hi. What was the guy at the Ubisoft Forward? Hi, I'm Yusuf, but there's no time. Yeah, it was that guy. Which he was the highlight of the entire thing, just because he reminded me that hi, I'm Yusuf, but there's no time was a thing that happened. I'm trying to figure out where we need to go. Where do you want to go, Jeremy? Hey Vortex, welcome to my rage stream.
I don't know where you want to head to.
I'm gonna look for somewhere to loot. Let's go to the fire department. Why not? Maybe we can steal a fire truck.
Nice. Let's do the cell tower too.
Cool.
Oh, the cell tower next to your place isn't taken.
Yeah, we can stop there.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we need to stop, drop some loot anyway.
It's marked blue.
Got it. But yeah, it just makes me so mad. We deserve better, but they just don't care. They just don't, and they never will again because they're gonna keep getting away with this. Is this space? Yeah, this is space. All right, I'm gonna start dropping off loot if you want to go to the cell tower. Actually, I think it's just that billboard.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know you were going back. I thought you were going forward. Where's the other parking spot? There it is.
Man, that is a lot of fucking zombies.
Oh, we're about to get a zombie threat here.
There's enough to go around here.
Anyway. What other topics did we miss? This felt like the most half-done podcast ever. Like, there's a skit that SNL did where Fred Armisen plays this like overweight television producer for a talk show, like I think like Wendy Williams or Ellen DeGeneres or something, like a ladies talk show, and he's just like, she's out sick today, so I'm running the show. But it was like a let's talk about like teen issues kind of show. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. And so these teenagers are asking him questions. He's like, I don't know, and he's just like rushing through the show because he doesn't know what he's doing. That's what this podcast is. We actually already addressed the Steam Deck, Jake.
See another way.
We talked about that in a little bit of detail. Basically, we landed on it's not a Switch killer because nothing can kill Nintendo short of Mario being on Xbox.
Oh yeah, rock.
But it looks like it could be cool. I'm just glad to see more love to the mobile gaming market. I love that market.
I'm excited about it, honestly.
Yeah.
I might end up getting one.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to because I never leave
To
my
play
house
Raft
anyway.
on that?
Oh, that'll be a blast. Which we totally need to play Raft.
We fucking
We do.
Jake, we need to play Raft sometime. So I guess we can get into the Loki finale. And Jeremy, I'm going to give you a quick overview of Loki so that you know everything you missed and everything that you don't need to even think about again, which is episodes 2 through 5. There are 6 episodes. So, and that's not true. The first episode was really strong. Which, fun fact, the head writer for that episode was the writer of... He wrote for Rick and Morty. He did the episode about the toilet seat, which was a really good episode. But he also is writing Doctor Strange 2. So that's exciting. That episode 1 was good. It built a lot of intrigue. It did really well with the characters and the consistency of the writing. And then episode 2 happened. It was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then episode 3 happened. They were like, hey, you know this show about time travel and infinite realities? It's a love story now. But it's about Loki and him being in love with himself. A female version of himself. Which also... They made a big deal, right? in Loki. I'm glad that Jake's not here. I'm actually not, but I'm just going to make the joke that I am, and that I can just go off and not have someone be positive about it. No one's here to stop me.
No, continue, please.
Yeah, they made a big deal about Loki being the first bisexual character in Marvel. And they were like, there is such a powerful moment in episode 3 where Loki confirms that he is the first bisexual character in Marvel, or in the MCU. And the big, powerful moment was Sylvie, female Loki, saying, like, I assume you've got prince or princess waiting for you back home or something. He's like, a little bit of both. That is the only time they address him being bisexual in the entire series. And then they make the rest of it about him pursuing a heterosexual relationship, completely forgetting about that reveal. I just thought that was so funny and just such a showing of just corporate doublespeak, you know? Where they were just like, wow, look at how progressive we are. Also, we don't care. I just thought that was funny. Because it really just doesn't matter to them. It's I hate to use the term virtue signaling, but that's exactly what it was. And I'm not even saying that it's untrue to the character to make him that way, because it's true to the character. That's how he was written. But if you're going to make a big deal out of it...
Yeah, he's had sex with, like, donkeys and stuff.
Yeah.
Lore,
he gave birth to a horse. Like,
yeah.
But if you're going to pat yourself on the back about it...
A horse, not a donkey.
Then don't put in the absolute minimum effort. You know? Anyway, it's not incest vortex. It's self-cest. That is the term that has been thrown around. So episodes 3 through 5, well, really 3 and 4, were about Loki falling in love with Sylvie. And I don't understand why he did. It very much felt like Loki needed to because the plot needed him to, so he did. And I have a problem with that. Because it's a character who is just super selfish. And yes, we see him grow in this. Rightfully so. Even the first episode was significant growth. In him seeing his entire future that he would have had in the main timeline. Seeing himself die, seeing both of his parents die. It was a big growth moment. But for him to go from being the god of mischief who's only out for himself in a matter of probably in-universe days, him going to where he's literally offered like all the power in the universe, and his response is to say to his crush that is himself, I just want you to be okay. That's what I call just a 180. That's not character growth. That's just not the same character. It just doesn't make sense. Because if you strip Loki of his identity and make him basically defined by another person, then he's not Loki. It just felt weird. Okay, thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that. So episode 5 got a little more interesting,
well, at least
to where Loki was sent to what is called the Void, which the Void is basically the end of all time. And the TVA, which is the Time Variance Authority, they are the ones who have been going to the different timelines and erasing variations in timelines. So, for example, there is a timeline in which Loki was born a girl. And even though she lived to be like 8 years old before the TVA decided to step in and eradicate her timeline as a variant, which someone please explain that plot hole to me. I'm serious. I don't understand. Even though, you know, all that happened, they detected her as a variant, showed up, no effort. They just showed them like, hey, you're a variant. We're gonna prune your timeline. Sorry, I got distracted by Jake's comment. So the TVA has been making it to where there is just one timeline. The story they've been telling everybody is they're the timekeepers. They have been keeping the peace amongst the timelines ever since there was a great multiversal war. And the timekeepers were like, that's bad. So we're going to make it one timeline, one sacred timeline, where everything has to happen a specific way. And any variations of that are removed. Which is like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, but that doesn't sound completely truthful. Is kind of where we left off. So we've been kind of assuming, okay, Flynn, stop it. The timekeepers probably aren't real, is what we've kind of been assuming. And at the end of episode 4, come to find out they're robots. Which great. So there's someone behind the curtain. I'm waiting down here in the car for you, Jeremy. So just okay, cool.
You have to claim this outpost.
Why?
I mean, you don't have to, but
Well, you just said I had to. We only have one more outpost slot, which is why I'm being picky. What do we gain?
that's fine. I don't know. I was just reading what it said.
Okay. But yeah, the timekeepers are robots. There's someone behind the curtain. Episode 5, Loki goes to the void, and he meets a bunch of different versions of himself. And the thought was at the end of that episode was, okay, interesting. He is surrounded by 4 different Lokis. There's Kid Loki.
I'm gonna go get ammo real quick.
Yep. I'll come back for you. There's Kid Loki. There's Classic Loki, which was the best performance in the entire series. Classic Loki was fantastic. And there was Prideful Loki, which was just Loki if he was a big fat liar.
Is there an alligator Loki?
Locodile is what I call him.
Locodile. Okay.
Yes. He is the best thing to come out of this entire series. Kind of, sort of. So we thought, we being, I guess, me, Boastful Loki. Thank you, Jake. I thought, and I feel like other people thought as well, that could possibly mean, and I'm talking about how we felt before questions were answered, so that I can kind of highlight why I am not satisfied with where we landed.
Yeah.
So we thought that there was a different void for each variation, like each different person in time. So, for example, there is a void that is just Loki's. That's what I thought going into episode 5. But it turns out, no, there's just one void, which I have a problem with, because if there's just one void and every single variant that they've ever pruned is supposed to be in that one spot, why are we only seeing Loki's? Because we get a glimpse at Frog Thor, and by glimpse I mean he literally was a blink and you miss it cameo. But that's the only other variant of a character we get. We don't see any other variant of anyone else, which makes no sense. And then they do the thing. I hate this thing, Jeremy, and I'm pretty sure you know I hate this thing. They did the thing where they call out the plot hole, and they're just like, forgive us, because we called out the plot hole. We know that it's a plot hole, but because we're self-aware, it doesn't, like, it's okay, right? So,
Yeah.
because Mobius was like, gosh, you throw a stone and you run into a Loki out here. Okay, the whole Lokis are survivors thing, that's a dumb excuse. Because for there to be literally like the President Loki, Kid Loki, Locodile, Boastful Loki, and all of them to have pretty different personalities, and to say they're all survivors, that just doesn't mesh with me. Like, that's a piss poor excuse. Like they need to try harder. And so they end up finding this thing called Goliath. It's just this giant smoke monster. Sylvie and Loki enchant it, because Sylvie's the only one that is capable of doing anything in this series. Everyone else sucks. Even though it's, well, I guess you could say it's still Loki's series because she's a Loki, quote unquote. They go into Goliath because there is a large fortress that exists outside of time. That is where we left off going into the finale. So they go into the fortress, and they are met by Miss Minutes, who is the little clock character voiced by Tara Strong, and she does the... Lee Allison wants to hear a franchise I like. I liked WandaVision because it actually had a story to tell, and it was consistent with the reality that it gave us. And it didn't want to do one thing and try to build an entire story around that one thing and fail at it. Like, you know, like, because Loki wanted to leave us where the multiverse can exist. And they did not... I said what I said before wrong. They did not have any interest in making the series itself about that idea. They wanted to tell a love story that we've heard a million times. With characters that shouldn't be the features of love stories, but that's just my opinion. But he's totally bisexual, guys. Pat us on the back. So Miss Minutes says to Loki, she's like, hey, good job. hey, if you want, we can cut you a deal. You can have everything you ever wanted. Just make us a deal. And he's like, no. Even though I'm Loki and I've only wanted like one thing for all of existence, I'm going to do whatever this random woman that I met 2 days ago wants me to do. So he does. They're just like, no, we want to kill the person behind all of this. So they go into a room and they are met by just a guy. Like, it's just this random guy who is referred to as the one who remains. And this guy is Kang. It is Kang, not Kang the Conqueror, but it is the person who is one of the many variants of the... It is who Kang is a variant of. It is the guy who has basically, he created the TVA, and he's been running the show, and the reason being is because he's like, hey, there was a great multiversal war, and all of these timelines existed on top of each other, and it was fine for a while, and then we all started killing each other. So to keep the peace, I created the TVA so they could create the sacred timeline, so that all the timelines could stay away from each other. My question from that is...
We could easily turn this place into a new base.
I'm going to turn the voices down a little bit because they're way too loud. My question is... why the deception with the TVA? Because the TVA was lied to. They were told... They weren't told that they were all variants. But at the same time, we, the audience, and the TVA, in terms of their purpose... were not lied to, because the story we're told at the beginning of the show is, hey, there was a great multiversal war, and the Timekeepers created the sacred timeline so that there would not be any more multiversal war. And then at the end, the one who remains is like, okay, get ready for this mind blow. So there used to be a multiversal war, and to keep the peace and destroy the multiversal war, we created one timeline. And it's like, yeah, we know. You told us in episode 1. Why is this supposed to be a surprise? Because the only part of his deception that remains a deception at that point is the Timekeepers. Why did the Timekeepers exist? They were completely pointless. Like, it just seems...
Wow.
Weird. Like, do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Like, they were a completely pointless red herring just so they could be like, the Timekeepers aren't real. Like, you know, have that halfway season twist or whatever?
Yeah.
It was dumb. It was lazy. Like, because I thought when we were told about the multiversal war, I thought that the deception was that there was no sacred timeline, and that the TVA was not destroying other timelines to keep one timeline on one course, but it was to collect champions for Kang. Like, collect the best Loki, collect the best Thor, so on. All that stuff. But and that would make sense with the existence of variants that can age up a little bit, because like we're left to believe that because the TVA, in what we've seen, prunes timelines very quickly. Like Loki in the first episode takes the Tesseract in Avengers Endgame, and then not 2 minutes later, he is arrested by the TVA. So it's like, wow, these guys work fast. Of course they do, because they can show up when the variation happens.
We need that car.
Yep, I thought you were going to ask for it. Hold on, let me kill the bloater.
Careful, don't breathe any of that.
Let the gas dissipate before you grab it.
Yep. There's a screamer.
But, so that would have explained why, like, because if Loki in Endgame, if the Loki that we've been following this whole time, if his timeline was pruned within 2 minutes...
Oh, I don't have a toolkit with me.
Let's see if we can get one. Is there one in the trunk?
I don't think so.
We can go grab one. Is it just completely busted? Yeah. Here, you go get a toolkit from base, and I'm going to stay in here and I'm just going to keep talking. Because I need...
Okay.
Yeah. So, that would have explained to me if it was the deception of like, haha, there's no actual sacred timeline. I've been lying to you so that I can use that as a fear tactic to get you to do my bidding. That would explain why Sylvie was a child, like a like close to adolescent. Oh my God, there's a horde.
Yeah, I'm coming back for you.
I got this.
We can just fix it later. Because home's pretty far.
But yeah, it would explain why Sylvie was aged up a significant amount before she was pruned. And how all these other variants, how they were taken at different times to where their variation was not the summary of their existence. Like, that would have made so much more sense, but they were like, no, it's just all one, like, we weren't lying to you at all, so all of this stuff to build intrigue actually doesn't matter and makes no sense. There's an objective up here
Need some help if you're up for it.
that I was going to grab so we can take it back to base.
There's a plague heart.
We gonna take that out?
If you want to.
Let's get this objective first, and then we'll go do that. But yeah, so...
Well, it looks like the objective is at the plague heart, that's why.
Gotcha.
You're talking about this, like, drop-looking thing straight ahead of us?
Yes.
Yeah. The plague heart's in that building.
Yeah. So, regarding Loki, I'm sorry, guys. This is a hard game to play while doing a podcast.
Yes, it is. Sorry.
Also, oh god. Kill the bloater, kill the bloater, kill the bloater.
Gonna be walking soon.
Anyway. So also, Jake, I had another question I wanted to ask you regarding, like, your thoughts on the series. Miss Minutes, when she offered him that deal, based on, and I could be wrong, I could be remembering things differently, but based on the deal that she offered, that was never a real deal, so why even offer the deal? Because, I'm just going to call him Kang, because he's Kang. He's not King the Conqueror, but he is Kang, the one who remains. Sure. So Kang basically is like, hey, I'm tired and someone needs to replace me, so you guys can run the TVA now. So what was the point of the deal? He was never going to give him a deal. Like, was it a test? Because if it was, that's a pointless test. What was he trying to test him for? It just felt like the thing that a villain's underling would say in that moment to show how devoted he was to his woman. It's stupid. It just exists to move us towards feeling what the writer needs us to feel without getting us there naturally. And that's, I mean, you guys know, based on how I've talked about movies like Star Wars The Last Jedi, that I have a really big issue with stories when I can see the writer's hand the whole time.
Yeah.
When it feels more like a game of D&D with a really spiteful dungeon master than a story that progresses naturally. When things happen just because they need to happen. I believe it may have been South Park that used the example of, rather than using and then, write with therefore.
Yeah.
To where...
Dang.
Good, right?
That's profound for South Park.
Yeah, Trey and Matt, they're good writers. They really
absolutely.
Are.
Yeah.
But the principle there being so many stories and shows and whatever, they use and then to connect events that happen, and which means that there's no connection there. It's like this happens and then this happens because it needed to. If you use therefore, you have to create that connective tie between event A and event B. And this show, being Loki, did not care about that connective tissue. And that really bothers me. Like, to say that Loki and Sylvie almost kissing on Lamentus, to say that was a Nexus event, like, unless if I'm misunderstanding the interpretation there, but that I feel like that's what they're saying, right? That it was a Nexus event that Loki fell in love with himself, even though a Nexus event is supposed to affect the greater whole of time. That doesn't make any sense. It was a quote-unquote Nexus event because the way they wrote it was Loki and Sylvie fall in love, and then they're saved. Because you can't say, therefore they're saved, because those things have nothing to do with anything. Nexus event that they almost died? No. No, that's dumb. Like, you can't just say... That's what's called a Deus Ex Machina. Saying, because Lokis are survivors, as reason for plot to happen the way it does in multiple plot holes. That doesn't sit well with me. I was gonna say, I won't allow it. It's gonna happen whether I like it or not. Hey, sorry.
Sorry. You stopped on my screen, so I got out, and then you backed up again.
Because I was trying to turn around.
Shit, it's a pharaoh. Those fuckers are fast.
I see. There's a pharaoh. Watch out. It's in the room.
Damn, I'm tired.
So, if that is the reason, Jake, I feel like they did a really bad reason explaining that, and also it feels hand-wavy. It does not feel good enough.
Gore.
Ooh, toolkit.
Feels panderous.
It does.
I haven't even watched it, and it feels panderous.
We're being overrun.
And I'm not saying that there was nothing good about this show. Because, like I said, the first episode was fantastic. It had me saying that so far, Loki was my favorite Marvel show from one episode alone, because they showed a deep understanding of Loki as a character, and it was exciting to see what they might do. But then they introduced Sylvie, which is the same strong-willed female character that they've written about 12 times now, and we're going to get more of those characters. Because, hey, Allison, because Marvel, and again, I have no issue with having a lot of female leads. I have an issue with a lot of female leads when the people writing them don't know how to write more than one type of female lead. Because then you're just getting the same character over and over and over again, and that's where we are in the MCU right now. Because they don't know how to write women. They just assume that writing a woman is writing a character that feels scorned by one party and is out to get revenge. Like, that's every single one of the women characters that they write, and it's lazy. It's not interesting. It's not fresh anymore. It stopped being fresh a long time ago. Which is why I didn't like Sylvie, but also because she derailed the story. In my opinion, the better story to tell would have been replacing Sylvie and Loki's role of, you know, them being the duo, and making it Mobius and Loki. Because you still get a similar dynamic of someone who is diehard to the TVA and to the mission, and then you get someone who sees themselves as a disruptor of the established hierarchy, being Loki.
Okay.
Like, yes, you can say Loki is a survivor, and yes, Loki is a survivor, but it just didn't feel right. It felt like we were being told one thing that's different from the character we've gotten to know over the years. And oh, I'm fatigued. Crap.
Oh, dang.
It just felt like we were being told, hey, everything you know about Loki. Yeah, like at that point, why even make it a show about Loki? It could have been about anybody else. But they made it about Loki because reasons. I don't know. But anyway, the more interesting dynamic to me would have been Mobius and Loki, because Mobius is all about the TVA. He's diehard about it. We're shown that it's basically like his religion. It is the reason he exists. He talks about it like almost like a cult. And that was interesting in episode 2. It was like, okay, it's cool to see. I'm excited to see more about how these guys play off of each other. Taxi!
Yeah, where you going, sir?
I just dropped the toolkit in there if you want to go pick up that other car and swing back around.
I'm gonna just leave this taxi over there.
Yeah, sure. I like that other car better anyway. So...
There's also this truck here.
Okay. Truck might be nice, actually.
Right.
But...
I'll get this instead of that car, then.
Okay. If you want the car, go get the car.
I don't care either way.
I also love the theory that the Mobius is a Thor variant, and if they go through with that, that'll be great. But back to what I was saying, because they shoehorned in Sylvie, because it felt like they've just made a sudden decision that was like, hey, all of the stuff that we've been building with intrigue and everything, throw all of that in the garbage and make it about this random character that's not going to matter ever again. And I know, Steven, you don't know if she's not going to matter again. She's probably going to come back. Probably, maybe, but everything that we spent with her, like all the time we spent with her, was not to endear us to her character or to get us to know this person for future importance. It was to get us to feel the knife in the back at the end. It was all a means to an end, and that end was for her to be like, hey, Loki, I don't love you as much as you love me. It was not in a way to get us to know her as a character, because, and I will fight to the death on this one, we don't know anything about her. She is not a character. She is just,
It's gonna slow me down.
I am pissed off all the time, and I feel the emotions that I need to feel in every scene that I'm in, because the only thing that matters is me killing the one who remains at the end of this thing. She is the final boss. And it was great the way they handled the outcome of that, and I'll go ahead and talk about this before I rant even more. So, Jeremy, the way that this show ends is that the one who remains tells them, hey, the timelines are splitting because no one, like the TVA is not taking care of things right now because the TVA was disrupted. Oh, that's a nice truck.
Right?
And so he's like, you guys need to make a decision quick. Like, are you guys going to do the work of the TVA, or are we going to have a multiversal war? And Loki's like, hey, maybe we should think about this. And Sylvie's like, no, I'm one-sided. I'm single-minded, short-sighted. I want revenge. So she takes revenge because Loki says to her, he's like, I just want you to be okay. And it's like, oh, so sweet.
Juggernaut at the door over there to the left.
Oh, yeah, we need to leave then.
Yeah.
I'm just dumping stuff. We definitely need to go to the base because my character is exhausted and barely has any stamina left. So let's just drive back home. But he just says to her, I just want you to be okay. Which you can say that's a sweet moment. Sure, whatever. It would be sweet if there was reason for Loki to feel as strongly as he does. Or if they were actually a good pair. They're not. In my opinion. But she's just like, well, unfortunately, I'm not like you, or whatever. There's a survivor in trouble. This is the most ADD game I've ever played.
It really is.
So, Sylvie kills, I almost said Thane, Kang. She kills Kang, and the timelines split. So what we have now, we've been wondering this whole time, how do we get to the multiverse? What does Multiverse of Madness mean in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness? How do we have Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, all this stuff in Spider-Man No Way Home? And we now know it's because Sylvie killed the guy who was keeping the timeline under control. So now the worst versions of Kang are on their way. They are the new Thanos. And so the series ends with this huge lore drop that's like, hey, multiverse exists, it's here, buckle up. And that was great. I liked how this episode took its time to explain all this stuff. Because Sorry, we missed the turn. Because it warranted explanation. There's something about Marvel Television that it really suffers from, and this includes Loki, is that Marvel Television starts strong, completely loses the plot in the middle. And even WandaVision suffered from that a lot. But WandaVision
I feel like
stuck the landing.
they try to concentrate more on being like M. Night Shyamalan and like having like this crazy twist.
Oh yeah, it's clickbait television because they write for social media.
Yeah.
The shows exist so that they can be tweeted about. Because it's a cultural movement. That's all Marvel cares about. They don't care about telling a good story. They care about being talked about. And oh crap, got him. But so they lose the plot in the middle, and then they get to the point where they're at one episode left, and they're like, oh crap, we need to land this plane like right now. And they have a really rushed finale. That was the problem with WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Falcon and Winter Soldier had a lot more problems, but I'm not going to talk about that here because I've talked about that extensively, and also people are probably already just rolling their eyes at me. We probably don't even have anybody watching anymore because I'm complaining so much. This is why we need Jake. We need the yin and yang.
I always enjoy your rants because they're very well thought out
Thank you.
and well articulated.
I
So
appreciate that. You hear that, guys? Jeremy likes my words. Suck it. But WandaVision suffered from that. But WandaVision.
you make a valid argument for everything. So just continue.
Thank you. Oh, we don't have enough storage for that fuel. Vortex and Jake are still here. Good.
Nice.
So WandaVision did suffer from a rushed finale, but at least with WandaVision, it knew that it didn't need to tell too many stories. So the worst that WandaVision did was have some red herrings that pissed me off. Like when they were very obviously trying to make you think that AIM was involved because there was a guy in a beekeeper suit, when it was the most throwaway thing of just like, oh no, it's not AIM, it's just some guy in a suit. It was like, thanks, that was completely pointless. There was a lot of that, but at the end of the day, the story was good. The characters were great, the performances were great. It did what it needed to do, and there was minimal fluff. Falcon and Winter Soldier was mostly fluff, and Loki was fluff in every episode but the first and last. And it would have been such a better show, in my opinion, so much more interesting, if they had taken the concept of Loki and Mobius being agents of the TVA, but actually being agents of the TVA, and going to different timelines, and each episode being a different variant. Like, oh cool, here's a variant of Captain America, here's a variant of Star-Lord.
That's why it felt like WandaVision did so well, because every episode was a different decade.
Right. It was interesting.
So it
Each
felt
episode had you
different.
coming back. Yeah. And like WandaVision didn't lie about what it was going to be. Loki, it felt like repeatedly was just clickbait. I felt like I did not feel rewarded for watching this series.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Thanos' helicopter was in the void. That means it's canon. No, it means that they're being cheeky with you, and they think that Easter eggs can carry an episode and make it compelling. And to some people it can, but to me, Easter eggs are great, but that does not make a plot. That does not make the characters. That's just a fun little thing that's supposed to be extra. And if they had focused on Mobius and Loki, they could have fleshed out that relationship more, because Mobius is one of the best parts of the series. He's a very interesting character. We still know so little about him. We never got to see his jet ski. He kept talking about jet skis. It was literally Chekhov's jet ski, and we never got it. So, focus on Mobius more. Show us that dynamic. Yeah, look it up, Vortex. It's hilarious. Look up Thanos' helicopter. It's the funniest thing. But Mobius was interesting until he wasn't, because he got completely sidelined by Sylvie, who is not an interesting character. And so what we ended up with was a half-assed attempt at a character like Mobius. All of this stuff that was like, hey, was Mobius this? Who knows? And it just was like, you could have told us about this character. You could have given us a more interesting character and a good dynamic between Loki and Mobius if you'd actually focused on that, rather than giving us that for 2 episodes. I'm reading the comment. Liaosin keeps saying Sylvie was not a character. She was a character foil for Loki. You could have a character foil for Loki any other way. In fact, like, to make Loki's foil
You know, when I get to catch my breath,
somebody who... Look at it this way. Loki in this series was more focused on pursuing a romantic interest, someone to be with, all that stuff. Sure. And he was heartbroken at the end when that didn't pan out. But what if Loki took the role of Sylvie, and Mobius was the one who was like, no, we need to keep the TVA functional, and Loki had to come to terms with the fact that he was responsible for reality literally breaking. Like, that is how you make a character hit their breaking point, not them meeting a girl version of themselves, them realizing that they have finally messed up in the worst possible way they can, and then in season 2 you focus more on rebuilding their character into a new man. Because right now it just felt like they thought Loki's arc was done in that first episode when he watched his potential future. And so the rest of it was just him learning that girls will stab you in the back and to never love. That's not a compelling Loki lesson. Like, he already didn't trust people. The way you defeat Loki is not by teaching him to not trust people. It's by having him fail in such a critical way that he has no other place to turn to other than realizing that he was wrong. And he has to fix that. Because then you have, you know, a Loki that has to be more heroic because he literally doesn't have a choice. But here it's just like, even though Avengers Loki, which is the one that we have, doesn't trust people, it's like, oh, now he trusts people. Oh, now he doesn't again. Over the course of like 2 days. It was just, for what? For why? Nothing. We landed exactly where we left off, except Loki's more emo. Like, take the character somewhere. You didn't. So, Tom Hiddleston's great. He does such a good job with the character. But this thing did not have a script that knew what it wanted to do. Like, they told these showrunners, this show needs to end with Kang and the timelines tearing apart. And they were like, got it. Love story.
You're like, no.
Like, it feels so inconsistent that it almost feels like they did the first episode for them.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm coming. Like Kevin Feige and whoever, they were like, look at this first episode. We did such a good first episode. Just chef's kiss first episode. Keep going. And they were like, okay, love story.
That's interesting, but I still feel like there would be a multiverse. I like that thought, though.
Yeah. Like, there are just so many questions, and these are questions. I don't think Kang wanted to do the war again. I think that he just wanted to find a replacement, and for some reason, Sylvie and Loki were where he landed. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, there are too many questions that they could have spent actually giving credence to the questions and the answers to those questions, but they just didn't. They spent so much time just wasting time. We spent an entire episode chasing two MacGuffins that led to nowhere just for them to get Deus Ex Machina to safety. It was pointless. So I like where we landed. I like where we started. I hated everything in the middle because it wasted my time. And I know I'm probably talking in circles, and I love the discussion. And I know Lee Allison's probably like yelling at me right now. But I mean, prove me wrong, please. I invite the discussion. I invite the dialogue. Never in any of these opinions. And I know. Oh shoot, are these guys shooting at us?
Yeah.
Got him.
There's survivors that are against us.
I think we're gonna be okay for a while.
My God.
This is my military guy. He's a good shot. But I respect and appreciate everyone's opinions. And in anything that I ever say, and I know it sounds like I'm just trying to poop on everybody's party. I'm not. Marvel can do better, so do better. Because if we set the precedent of liking this garbage and just being like, wow, so good, so deep.
Complacence.
Complacency is a very real thing. And that is how you get crap like Game of Thrones.
If they
Or-
keep
or
coming
the
out with the
X-Men
same
movies.
thing over and over again, and people keep buying it, then why are they
If
going
you
to change?
if you keep eating it up, if you keep telling them that the standard isn't as high as it should be,
Yeah.
they'll keep doing it. These things need to be talked about. We like plot holes and contrivances are a thing that can ruin a series. And when there are enough of them, and I'm not one of those that's like, wow, Loki wore a blanket in episode 5. He's a frost giant. That makes no sense. Episode ruined. Although I did say that as a joke, which also that doesn't make sense. But whatever. Like he got cold. He's a frost giant. Are you serious? But that doesn't ruin the series for me. But that, in addition to all of these other things that are very real, serious things, like, that matters, because that has to do with flow of story, progression of character, all this stuff. It's important, and I'm not just going to turn a blind eye to it. But I would love to hear why people who loved it, because it's very possible that I'm overreacting or I'm just missing things or whatever else. So please, at me in the comments, at me in the Discord, link in channel banner. Seriously, I love these kinds of conversations, and I don't want to be the only one talking. Because for someone that has as many opinions as I do, and talks as much as I do about things that I'm passionate about, believe it or not, I hate hearing myself talk. And Jeremy can even tell you, there have been times when I've talked a lot, and I've immediately gotten self-conscious, because it's just like, why am I just listening?
Is everything okay?
Yeah, like, I hate the sound of my own voice. Like, ooh, gross.
Stu, I'll tell you a secret, everybody does that.
Yeah, there is psychology to that. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Unless if they're just a complete sociopath. Everyone hates the sound of their own voice. But
There's some stuff in this.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
Yep.
But I am that way. And so, to me, ranting is absolutely pointless if no one has anything to say about it.
There's no discussion about it. Yeah.
Right. Because the discussion's what's interesting about it to me. Because I could point out problems with things all day long. But why do that if no one's going to tell me why they think I'm wrong, or at least discuss those things that I talk about, you know?
Jake, that's why the podcast works with you. It's because you guys have but you have opposite opinions about a lot of things.
Right. We have a good dynamic here. Yeah, and I don't know if they'll even make Kang blue, ultimately, because, like, with the Collector and the Grandmaster, they kind of did the same thing. I guess it depends on the dedication of the actor, but that actor seems like he's pretty dedicated. Jonathan Majors, is that his name? Something like that. I can't decide if his performance was really good or if he was just trying really hard to make me think that it was really good. Because he was very charismatic, but I couldn't tell if it was just charisma for the sake of charisma or if it was, like, really good acting. And that's me legitimately saying, like, I haven't decided what I think yet. But I will say, he's very engaging. He did a good job of keeping me glued to what he was saying and to his visual cues and everything. So I'm excited to see more of him. But whether he'll be blue or not probably is going to have to do with if the actor wants to deal with the makeup or not. Or if it'll be CG or whatever.
There's an Xbox.
Ha! Or an original Xbox too. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I was entertained at points by Loki, but ultimately I was left asking myself why they were doing what they were doing rather than the things that they teased that they were going to do.
And from the sound of it, makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It was just disappointing for me. I have a high standard, but I think we should all have a high standard at this point. Endgame, for example, like, I've talked about how much I dislike that movie. Endgame, in my opinion, cancel me if you want to, go for it, I don't care. It was a bad film. Because it didn't care about that therefore writing. It cared about getting you to the final act and watching your nerd eyes explode, seeing such an epic climax. And it was epic. It was great. But you need to care about how you get there. Otherwise, what's the point? And it didn't. And so that's how I am with Loki. I love where we landed. But how we get there is just as important. I like how they introduced Kang But I have a lot of guns in here, Jeremy. I need you to help me carry some stuff. But I guess the what am I trying to say? There was a point in watching the guy playing King where I was like, is this pretentious? I can't tell. I don't think it was. But there was that inkling of like, I don't know if this is good or not. But the way they introduced him and his dedication was good.
You're going to have to drop him.
Yep. Do you need any types of guns specifically?
No.
Because I found a hunting rifle and like 2 different shotguns.
I'll take a look at the hunting rifle if you want.
Yeah, go for it. No, I enjoyed Thor Ragnarok. And this is one of those things to where
Ragnarok was really good.
Ragnarok was one of the most entertaining MCU films. I did not like how much of a tonal shift it was from Thor previously. Like, it did feel like a bit of a continuity jump. But that wasn't enough to hinder my enjoyment, because that was one of those things where it's just like, just go with it, because there's no easy way to make this tone change, because obviously a tone change needed to happen. So that didn't bother me. Like, it was just like, that's kind of strange how Thor is just a comedy first now. But it was fun as hell. It was funny. I loved the characters. They handled the serious moments great. Yeah, it was a good film because it understood that the beat by beat stuff was as important as the laughter and where we landed and all that stuff. It was a good movie. I enjoy it. I don't hate everything, Lee Allison. I promise I don't. I just have good taste and standards. That sounded really bitchy.
Well, you have your own opinion. If everybody liked the same thing, the world would be a very boring place.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with each other.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's
My views on a lot of games are completely different than Steven's, and
no, they're not.
Completely different from Jake's. So.
We're one mind. We're a hive mind here at Chortle Games.
Gotta hope not.
You hope so.
I hope so.
Hive
Oh god,
mind.
mind control.
All right, I'm gonna back into this Pharaoh. Do a whip. Crap!
Do your door.
I can't. There we go. Oh, that didn't kill him.
Still alive.
There it is.
There it is. Get that smush. Oh my god, there's a horde. No, like a big horde.
Yep, we got this. Here, actually, you want to up your shooting a little bit? I'm gonna use my hunting rifle.
Is there a way to zoom into the scope?
Z.
That's
Well, here's the thing about that line, he's a friend from work. I actually hate that line. And the only reason that I don't rip on it is because they were cool enough to let it be from a Make-A-Wish kid. That's just cool. Because, like, if that was... Like, that's just one of those cringy Marvel lines. But the fact that it came from a kid who just was on set and he was like, hey, that'd be funny. And they were like, you know what, kid? That would be funny. That makes it endearing. But if it was from a professional writer that wrote that line, I would not have liked that line.
I didn't know that.
Yep. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. Like, it was a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid that like, went to the set, and, like, he said that to Chris Hemsworth, right? I think that's what it was. But so much of Thor Ragnarok was improv. But, yeah, that was cool. I'm glad that they did that. Courtney, you've missed a lot of me complaining about Loki and people disagreeing with me. So you've missed a typical Chortle cast. Oh, wait, did you already take the hunting rifle?
No.
Okay, good. because I see one in my inventory, and I'm like, wait, did I give you that or not? Here, I'll drop it out here. Oh, shoot. Where's drop? Hey, Aaron. Hey, I got a medicine textbook. Does anyone in your camp have medicine experience?
Don't think so.
Let me drop you this book then. Yeah, and that's cool, Jake. That's just a very human story from a larger than life Hollywood movie, and I like that. But again, it did seem like a weird line that was kind of stilted and out of place in that moment. I dropped it right there. Behind you. But it's completely forgiven because of the origin of the line. Later, Jake. Tell Allison I hope she doesn't hate me too much.
Here's your shotgun.
I hope you can hear this.
Oh, thank you.
And your other backpack.
You can take that backpack.
I have one.
Okay.
Actually, I have 2 8s.
Nice. Oh yeah, that he is definitely going Road Warrior sawed-off shotgun for his sidearm. Let's freaking go. Vortex, this is for you. Look at that. Leg-holstered sawed-off shotgun. Thing of beauty. Yeah, and that's understandable, Courtney. I guess it just felt kind of weird because we went so quickly from Thor at his lowest to that line. Like that's probably what it was for me. That it was just a bit jarring. But again, like I said, I have no quarrel with it because of where it comes from, because it has such a cute story. All right, where are we going? I think we've officially bled over into just regular stream time, so I can thankfully, finally, stop having an ADD nightmare of going between playing this game and trying to not get eaten by zombies and talking about why I have an opinion that no one else has. Yeah, and I think that's the only issue I had with it, Courtney. But anyway, yeah. If those of you who have watched Loki, any thoughts, I'd love to hear them. We're going to be just doing regular stream now, so it's just going to be us playing State of Decay. And if you have any questions for us or anything else that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know and we will do just that. I'm going to make some ammo. Holy crap, we've got a lot of supplies here. The Freedom Phone. Have you heard of the Freedom Phone, Jeremy?
No.
I might have, and if it's what I think it is, it's going to be really weird because I just heard about it today from a random YouTube video, but it may not be the same thing. So, Courtney, what is the Freedom Phone? Just going to save real quick. Nope. Okay. Can we talk about Black Widow since nobody likes it? I still haven't seen it, and I'm not going to see it because of what they did to Taskmaster. That was just not okay. It's just dumb. And also, I wasn't really feeling it before I found out about the Taskmaster thing. It's just, it's 4 years too late. Like, it just, the time for that movie came and went. And we are in a post-Thanos MCU. It's really hard to go to a film that takes place before that with no connection to what happens after. And I know a lot of people are like, but the character carries it. For a lot of people, yeah, that's great. But for me, I never really liked her as a lead focus anyway, because she's more interesting to me when you don't know what she's capable of or don't know what she's got up her sleeve.
Right.
Like, she's better when she's the dependable loose cannon, if that makes sense. Like the one with the bag of tricks.
The double agent, if you will.
Yes. Okay, no, that's not what I heard of today, Courtney. I've never heard of that. Although, just on the topic of phones, let me know when you're ready to go, by the way, Jeremy. And if you need any specific ammo, let me know, and I will get you some. If I
I need
can.
some 7.62 if you have any.
I will check. So my phone, my Note 20 Ultra, crashed again for no freaking reason. And I love the Note 20 Ultra, but this is the second time it's happened to me, and I take really good care of my phones.
I don't get it.
But
I have one as well.
yeah, it's a good phone. It's great.
Yeah.
But because I don't want to deal with this again, the next lineup of Samsung phones is actually getting announced August 11th. And one of those is going to be the Z Fold 3. So your boy's going to get a fold phone, and I'm really excited about it.
The guy I talked to at Verizon prior to getting my phone told me that a lot of the screen technology just isn't there yet.
For the folds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The screen breaks very easily, and it's like $1,200 to replace the screen.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm going to get a warranty on it. Which
He said
hopefully-
even with the insurance, it's like $400.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, depending on how
Just
much
forewarning you.
Yeah, right.
It's awesome, and I hope that technology hits one day where it's not that expensive.
I have a rule with technology where Vortex says, that's cool, you'll get to dramatically hang up on people. Yes.
I miss those days.
Flynn. It's okay, bud. I know. You want to say hi to the stream, don't you? Hey, buddy. He has such a goofy smile. I love it. But I have a rule with technology. I know, bud. Where I do not try... and this is for basically everything except for gaming consoles. But I don't opt in to new models until at the earliest 3rd gen.
That's fair.
And so the Z Fold 3, apparently the 2 got really good reviews, and I'm sure it does have those weaknesses, but thankfully I think one of my strengths as a cell phone owner is that I am very careful with my hardware. And if it's like a physical weakness to where dropping it will break it or anything like that, I'm very good about not dropping my phone. So I'm hoping that the limitations being that it's a fragile piece of hardware will be a non-issue for me because I'm very careful. But also, it just sounds like the proposed upgrades are just a lot of really good things that are going to make it... Like, it sounds like this could be where the Fold really hits its stride, I'm hoping. And yeah. I'm hoping also that...
Did you ever get ammo?
7.62, right?
Yeah.
Let me see what I got. I completely forgot. But last year when I got the Note 20, for trading in an older phone, I've only got 26 rounds. Goodness.
You're good.
You sure?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can craft any at the workbench or something. But I traded in my old phone, and by doing that, they gave me outright $1,000 towards the Note 20 Ultra. So I'm hoping that I can cut the cost down to a few $100s. That would be wonderful. But we'll see.
Come on in, everyone. The Zeds are getting ready to hit us hard.
Oh. Well. They're coming in 20 seconds. I'm going up to the tower. Why is this guy here? Angel needs to be in the tower. He's got the sniper rifle. They actually released a horde mode for this game. Did you know that?
I saw that. I'd like to try that sometime.
Screamer. Dead. Float. Oh wait, am I using 7.62? Is that why I only had a few? That's exactly why.
Más muertos inbound.
Shoot. Flynn is talking major trash.
That Zed's infected.
We've got this. Don't give up.
I don't like how this is going.
Keep fighting. Keep fighting.
Wait, are we in danger? Is someone actually dying? This seems like a really weak horde.
We gotta get through this.
Why is this dude talking like it's dire?
Yeah, like... That was definitely pay attention to me, Courtney. I can tell you 100% that Flynn was saying in dog, look at me. I need your attention. I am lonely. Because like when I turned around, he was standing on the couch, stretching his face towards me because my computer desk is right next to the couch. And when I started scratching his chin, he just got that goofy smile on his face because he was like, yes.
We can do this. The attack is over. How many do
Where
we
even
need?
are you? Okay. It was 100% attention. I can confirm. I know my boy quite well. What the heck?
Is there one in here?
Yeah, it was just running around.
Nice.
Yep. All right, let me check.
That's probably what that guy was talking about.
Strange of him to just complain about it and not try to help. He's just looking at the zombie and he's just like, oh man, oh no, oh man. So that's a screamer.
Yep. Can't tell where it is. Oh yeah, this isn't done. There's one in the garden.
It's just you and me, screamer. Watch this. Pa! Flynn, I can't even see you. Where are you, buddy? Ooh. Flynn. All right, Jeremy, entertain the people for a second. I'm gonna find Flynn. There
Dance,
you are.
monkey.
Come here, buddy. Come here. Oh, that's a good boy. Hey, girl. Hey,
Bro,
girl.
I feel like that's with my dogs as well. There's moments where they stare at me and they're just like, you're so stupid. Peasant, give me food.
Flynn frequently gives me what I can only describe as the dog version of that SpongeBob kid meme, where he's like getting his school picture taken or whatever, and he's looking at the camera with the half smirk. Like, are you serious? Like, he frequently gives me that look. It's hilarious. He has also smirked before. I've seen that boy smirk. It was hilarious.
Yeah, Fry does that.
Alright. So, what now? Do we call stream there? Do we go do something else?
Oh shit!
What?
Juggernaut.
Bring it around to the front if you can. It's charging. Get inside, get inside. Shoot, that's not a way in. Don't get between him and the cars. Don't get the cars between you and him, is what I was trying to say. Oh!
Reloading. I'm on my last magazine.
Come on, come on. Really? Still not? Oh!
Ignoring us like that was the last straw. We're done playing nice. Next time we see you, you're dead.
Oh,
Well,
what?
fuck. I guess this is never gonna work out well. Not with these guys.
Oh, shoot. This guy has entirely too much health. Get out of here. So we just got threatened from a group of survivors that the only thing that they've done in this world is they asked me for construction
Ammo.
supplies, and I gave them the construction supplies, and Nikki, my main character in here, was like, that was stupid. And I was just like, yeah, they get one. And then they asked for ammo, and it was like, no, you got your hand out. And so now they are like, we're going to kill you. So that's cool. That seemed like a reasonable jump in reaction.
You want to go kill them?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's go do that.
Cool. I'm going to
Already
bring...
marked it.
Great. I'm going to bring a shotgun, like not a sawed-off. I'm going to bring... a lever-action shotgun or the Model 870.
Ooh. 870.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Lever actions are so sexy.
Use the lever. Actually,
Nah, I'm going to use the... I've used the lever action. I haven't used this one yet.
well, yeah, use that one if you haven't.
Yep. Hey, Flynn. Think we'll get our construction supplies back?
Doubtful.
Alright, which car do we want to take to kill these people?
Let's take the survey car.
Absolutely. Kill them in a freaking Volkswagen.
Yep.
Let's repair it first. How's it doing on fuel?
Third of a tank.
We only have 2 toolkits left. We'll use it, but gonna need to. So I've got a mechanic here at the base, but I don't know if he's able to fix cars yet. I was hoping that he would. Oh wait, I have to actually repair the car.
Yeah, one of the guys I have is a mechanic too. I was hoping that actually had something to do with it.
I think it does, but I think you have to specialize it.
There's an infestation at this house.
Hold on just a sec. Yeah, get out of the car. Oh, I guess I can't specialize again. Interesting. Going around.
Screamer.
I'm in the building.
Got it.
Nice.
Zeds were gonna show up eventually, right?
I didn't make a noise.
Not too bad.
The Screamer did.
Yeah, it made another one. Come on, come to the door. Come to the door. Start banging on the door. See what happens. Bah! Holy crap!
Oh, that's a lot. Aim for the bushes.
Yep. Aim for the bushes.
Anything hear that?
Going up front.
Also leveling up my fighting a lot,
Yeah.
which is good.
Oh. Ah.
It's like I just want to leave the room.
I've seen all I can see.
All right.
All right, let's go kill those guys.
Got a bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna drop.
Dang, I'm fatigued already. Do you have any coffee?
I do not.
Let me check the kitchen in this house real quick. I'm gonna have to kill these guys while
This
yawning.
place is as good as it looks.
Do you have a gardener in your colony?
No.
I got you a gardening book.
Occasionally, searching leads to
Damn son.
Yeah. The heck? 4. Okay, this guy is terrible at searching things. Like, he is spectacularly awful at it.
And I'm out.
It's the first time this lady's done it.
There's something in here for you. I'm gonna drop this gardening textbook.
556.
What a dodge that was!
Nice.
Did it drop? No, it did not. There you go. Oh, there's an upstairs. Nice. This is the kind of game that I hope the day
There's a
before
dresser in here.
will be,
I was lucky at times.
but I know it won't be.
Now where am I gonna put that?
I got an energy drink here.
Energy drink won't do it. Has to be coffee, which is incredibly dumb.
Doctors, nurses, and medics during the outbreak. Sadly, it's always the bravest ones who are most at risk during a crisis.
We can breathe. No more Zeds in sight. I'd have to drop something else first.
Alright. Let me, community. No, Flynn.
I've seen all I'm gonna find here.
Oh my god, lizard hoodie. That's hilarious. I'm about to kill these. I'm gonna kill these guys with a freaking ninja hoodie on. Let's go. I just marked. Actually, I need to drop stuff off too. I just marked a place on the map that's an outpost, we can use my storage there so I can get some coffee.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't go killing people before I've had my coffee. You know?
Yeah, I left a couple of things on the second floor. I'm gonna go grab them.
Okay. I'm feeling up.
Sounds good.
This mission, or this game does too many time missions. Like, they just happen constantly, and you can't do all of them, and that's fine, but when they happen every couple minutes and they go away a couple minutes later, it's like, how was I supposed to even do this?
Yeah, that one said 30 minutes when it popped up, but we literally got hit by 2 hordes at the same time.
Yeah.
Lego.
There's a lot of bad news over here.
Mm-hmm.
This is where the old base was. Or it was in this area. I'm sure Flynn would love if he had a cardboard cutout of me, and he probably would wait a few days to chew the thing to completion. Alright, I'm all coffeeed up.
My back is killing me over here.
Should put the seeds in these jugs in there.
Thank you. Did you see how many views the XCOM tutorial video has? I looked at it the other week. It's one of our like top 5 most viewed videos, and that terrifies me.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And just to show how wholesome, well, wholesome's probably not the right word, but how non-toxic the XCOM community is, most of the comments are positive. And it's got a high like-dislike ratio. Like, that's just the kind of thing where, like, I was afraid of making it because XCOM players are pretty sweaty, but they're not dicks about it.
Yo, I need a hand with something. If anyone friendly's around.
Nah, we're not gonna help that guy.
Yo, I'm here.
Don't care. Ah! We're out for revenge. That's all that matters. Skirt!
That was nice.
Thank you. You like my driving? Ooh, a Jeep!
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, let's take that Jeep. Ninja!
It's fresh.
That won't work.
Ah! Ah! What? Come on!
Now we're truly fucked. This is just a nightmare.
Well, now I'm infected because the game glitched. Go. Gosh, I'm about to kill these guys. Tired, infected, bleeding. Turn the lights off. They can't over here. Alright. Flashlight. Gotta be real stealth-like.
I wish I had a flashbang.
It's time for you to die!
Oh man, that's not what I wanted to do. I dropped the boombox. Knock! Knock!
Well, look at that.
A vector. A vector carbine.
Dang. What caliber is it?
It is 45.
I'll
It's a,
take it if
it's
you
a
don't want it.
rifle. Yeah, I'll repair it for you first. Because
Oh, damn.
it is damaged.
That's all I have is a 22 and a 7.62.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's yours.
Just trying to up some.
So let's take back our stuff.
Yeah. Wow, I had one box in here. Cool.
The zone isn't Z free just yet.
They had zombies in here. What idiots. Gosh, we did them a
Maybe
favor.
there's a use for this.
There's something in the shed. Got him.
This little revolver's nice.
We can breathe. No more Zeds in sight.
Soda can bomb? What? Oh, wait.
Oh, dang. We may need to go back and get the SUV.
Why?
This trunk's full of stuff.
I mean, we can just go back home. I'm infected anyway.
Okay. Is there anything that you left in there?
Mm-mm. I think we're good.
Okay.
This is a nice Jeep.
Yeah.
I'm marking it for you. Just follow the road, pretty much. Yeah, we got two bags in here. Let's just bring it back. So yeah, let's when we get back, let's call the stream there.
Yeah. Sounds good.
I feel like podcasts sucked, guys. I'm gonna be honest. It's been on, it's been heavy on my heart. I dropped the ball with podcast.
No, you didn't. You're good, man. Jake just has a rhythm that he knows.
It's
For
hard.
that being the first time, it was good.
Yeah. It's hard to.
And there's not a lot of news, so it's literally us just talking about things that have either recently been announced, like the shit show that was X Defiant. Just to piss you off a little bit.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
By the way, you can go up to a parking spot and deposit the trunk straight into your storage. by
Oh,
pressing
cool.
T. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Courtney. I appreciate that.
No room for that.
You really push into the parking spot, and you can see what I mean. I just realized that my revolver uses 9 mil. I've never seen that before.
I hope nothing hurt.
Yeah, that's all I've got. It's 22.
On my aunt's prepper plan, there's a string of
I'm
numbers.
gonna repair
next
that
to
thing for you.
POV. The numbers look like GPS coordinates.
Repair what thing?
The vector.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, we've got really good morale. Also, this is a legit living space. Have you seen the bunker or whatever?
The tent in here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Barracks. All right, here's your vector, by the way. Oh shoot, that's mine. No,
My back is killing me over here.
no.
It's in my inventory now. It's mine.
Okay.
Not here.
Dang, Nikki. Excuse me, let me take the most direct route through you people. Excuse me, pardon me.
Dick. How much 45 do I have? I have 4 rounds of 45.
Jeez.
A lot of 5.56 though. Yay.
Oh, hey, we can make toolkits. That's nice.
What's up?
All right. So that's going to do it for this episode of Chortlecast. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you'd like to interact with us, there's a few ways you could do that. You can comment on this video or on the... Oh, he's probably not making this there's no way he makes this an audio episode. So, yeah, just comment on this video. You can subscribe to us. We dropped back down to $9.99, so pretty bummed about that.
Yeah.
But you could be 1,000, part 2. So do that. Whoever you are, you know who you are. If you'd like to interact with us during the week, we have a Discord. The link is in the channel banner. If that link does not work, I say this every time because the Discord link's really inconsistent when it decides to work and when it doesn't.
Yeah.
But if the Discord link does not work, comment on this video. We will see it, and we will get you the correct link. And Discord's where we announce when we're going to go live. We post a lot of great memes in there. Austin Vortex have top-notch meme game. We have good conversations there. It's a good time. We will be streaming again on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So look out for us then. But until then. Well, you know what we didn't talk about? Put a pin in this. Someone who attends on Thursday, if Jeremy is here as well, we need to talk about Tribes of Midgard. It comes out in a week.
Oh, yes.
And did you know that there are 8 classes in that game?
No, I didn't know it was that extensive.
I didn't even know there were classes, and I was clicking through today, and I was like, okay, yeah, there's probably 3 classes, and I kept clicking, and they kept getting new classes. I was like, what is this? So yeah, Tribes of Midgard. We're going to talk about that in the next stream, and of course the Ascent, which comes out next week as well. That's what it's called, right? Ascent.
Yes.
Cool. Good stuff coming out next week. So come check it out. We will see you guys on Thursday. Have a great rest of your week. Till then. Bye.